pest trends in intensive cropping system. So nakafocus tayo sa ano ba yung nangyayari sa population ng insect pests, especially when we use intensive cropping systems like monoculture, continuous cropping, etc. But before we go over that, baka nakikita nyo lagi yung salitang important pests. Now, when we say important pests, sa konteksto ng crop protection, hindi po siya parehas sa beneficial. Kasi baka isipin nyo, importante itong peste na to. Hindi po. Okay? When we say important pest, it is just saying that this pest is relevant. Okay? That this pest is key. Kailangan siyang bantayan. Right? So sa idea ng crop protection, when we say that the pest is important, it means na kailangan siyang bantayan. Why? Bakit siya kailangang bantayan? Because this pest can cause significant crop damage under a particular production conditions. So yung mga important pests can cause damage if a particular production conditions are met. However, we know that pest status is dynamic. Ibig sabihin, nagbabago-bago po ang pest status. The population could increase, the population could decrease. Yung minor pest na ngayon could tomorrow be a major pest. So, napaka-importante na naiintindihan natin yung ecological changes wherein some pests can become important. And one of the environmental conditions that we are facing right now, especially in agriculture, is the agricultural intensification of our field. So when we say agricultural intensification or intensive agriculture, we are talking about certain kinds of practices kung saan napaparami or nag-i-evolve yung ating pest population. So examples would be yung repeated or continuous cropping. Pag paulit-ulit mong tinatamnan yung field mo, right? Na walang pahinga yung lupa, it could affect a pest population. Large areas planted with same or similar crops, monocropping, could also affect the dynamics of your pest environment. Yung pagpapataas ng fertilizer use could also affect the pest population. Why? Kasi kapag mas marami kang pataba than usual, no? Or than the threshold, kapag mas marami kang pataba na nilagay doon sa halaman than the threshold, pinapalaki mo ng gusto yung halaman. Anong pagkain ng peste? Yung halaman. So, kapag nagbabago yung bilang or quantity ng resource ng kanilang pagkain, it could also change their population level. Same is true with irrigation. Same is true with yung sa paggamit ng mga high-yielding varieties. Binibigyan natin sila ng source, binibigyan natin ng pagkain yung mga peste. So, it could also affect the population as well. Reduced crop diversity is another one, which is related sa monocropping. May effect din yan sa pest environment. And the frequent use of pesticide. So, isa-isahin natin yung ilan dito. Okay? Hindi lahat, yung ilan. Like, for example, we have continuous cropping. So, when we say continuous cropping, ibig sabihin, yung field ni farmer ay natatamnan 365 days in a year. Walang pahinga. So you have crop, after harvest, you will plant crop, after harvest, you will plant another crop, and you will plant another crop. Now, imagine meron ngayong restaurant na bukas for 3 months straight. So 3 months straight, bukas yung restaurant na yan, 24/7. Usually, mapapansin natin na itong restaurant na to na bukas for 3 months straight, hindi siya nawawalan ng tao. Whether yung tao na yon would be your customers or whether yung tao na yon would be your workers. Right? So, ganun din po ang peste. Ang peste kapag nakita yung crop na yan na hindi nawawala dahil paulit-ulit nating tinatanim because of continuous cropping na practice ng intensive agriculture, nag-a-attract tayo ng pest to stay in the field. That is why, very important na mayroon tayong fallow period. So when we say fallow period, pinagpapahinga natin yung lupa. Hindi natin tinatamnan ng anything. So that the pests will go away from that field. Why? Kasi walang pagkain. So, hindi sila pupunta doon. So, ulitin ko lang, kapag patuloy na yung field ay may crop, you would attract pests ng paulit-ulit because there's always a source of food. But if you allow the field to follow, you allow the field to rest, then we are breaking the cycle of the pest population. Kasi there are instances, there are times na wala silang pagkain, so aalis sila dun sa area na yon. Now, another practice sa intensive agriculture would be monoculture. Okay? Now, when we say monoculture, it means on the same field, halos pare-parehas yung tinatanim nating crop. So kapag rice yan, puro rice lang lahat yan. And for some insects, okay, example yung rice, for some insects, kung yun yung pinaka-paborito nilang kainin, abay tuwang-tuwa sila kapag puro rice yan. So parami lang sila ng parami dyan. That's monoculture. It's not a good thing. Okay? Kasi nagkakaroon ng parang giant buffet yung mga insekto natin when this happens, when monoculture happens. So ang idea sa integrated pest management, crop rotation, kung saan iba-ibang family of crops yung itatanim natin on the field. So pwedeng rice at a particular season, and then pwedeng vegetables, pwede kang may trees, pwede kang may legumes, etc. Para yung mga insect pests on one particular crop, hindi siya hahawa on the next cropping season. Kasi magkaibang food source, so magkaibang peste. Okay? So ito yung ideal, crop rotation. Ito naman yung monoculture that would attract or intensify pest population. Now, in relation to the different agricultural intensification approaches, okay, nagkakaroon tayo usually ng tatlong problem. And these three problems, dapat maintindihan natin kung ano yung pagkakaiba nila. So the first problem that na common sa mga intensive agricultural lands is yung pest resurgence. Okay? Pest resurgence. So what do we mean by pest resurgence? Now, ang pest resurgence nangyayari yan usually kapag intensified or marami yung paggamit ng tinatawag nating mga broad spectrum pesticides. So when we say broad spectrum pesticides, yan po yung mga pesticides na hindi lang pumapatay ng peste, pinapatay niya rin yung ibang klase ng insekto. Okay? So wala siyang pinipili, kumbaga. So when farmers use broad spectrum pesticides, they kill the insect pests, yung peste, but at the same time, they kill natural enemies. Okay? Ano yung mga natural enemies na yan? Example niyan would be your predators, your parasitoids, your pathogens that helps to control the population of your insect pests. So when we use broad spectrum pesticide at intensified yung paggamit na yan, natatarget yung pest insects and natatarget rin yung mga natural enemies. Now here comes the problem. Paano kapag mas mabilis mag-rebound in terms of population yung insect pests kaysa doon sa natural enemy? Right? So paano kapag mas mabilis mag-reproduce pabalik yung mga insect pests tapos yung natural enemies mo medyo mabagal sila? So wala ka na ngayong katulungan na magko-control doon sa insect pests sa field. Why? Because you use broad spectrum pesticide. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng pest resurgence. Okay? So sa pest resurgence, that means we are using broad spectrum pesticides to target all kinds of insects. Pero ang nangyayari, yung insect pest, mas mabilis mag-rebound yung population nila kaysa doon sa kanilang natural enemies. That helps control their population. Now, aside from your pest resurgence, meron din tayo yung problem ng secondary pest outbreak. Okay? Now, ang secondary pest outbreak, medyo similar siya, no, sa resurgence natin kanina. Pero ito yung pagkakaiba. Secondary pest outbreak, gumagamit rin tayo dyan ng sandamakmak na pesticide. Okay? Say, broad spectrum pesticide pa rin. So what happens? Sabi natin, mamamatay yung natural enemies, okay? Kasi matatarget sila ng pesticide. And at the same time, maapektuhan rin naman yung mga insect pest natin. So bababa ang natural enemies, bababa rin yung major, sabi natin or yung bababa rin yung population ng primary insect pests. Okay? Primary insect pests, bababa rin po yung population niyan. So sa secondary pest outbreak, ang nangyayari is, yes, bumaba yung population ng primary insect pests at bumaba rin yung population ng natural enemies. Pero hindi mo alam, meron pa palang secondary pest doon sa field. So ang secondary pest, yan yung pest na hindi siya ganun ka-important in terms of damage. Nandyan sila, peste sila. Pero they are not as important as your initial primary insect pests. So na-target natin yung primary insect pests, pero dahil gumamit tayo ng broad spectrum pesticide, namatay din yung mga natural enemies. And then, lo and behold, okay, biglang tumaas yung population naman ng secondary pests. Yung pest na hindi natin kinokontrol, na hindi natin alam na nandun kasi sobrang kaunti at hindi sila ganun kaimportante, sila yung biglang tumaas ang population. So ang tawag po natin dyan, secondary pest outbreak. Okay? So ano yung pagkakaiba ng secondary pest outbreak at saka resurgence? Yung resurgence, we are talking about the primary insect pest sa resurgence. Okay? Bumaba yung natural enemies, mas nag-bounce back, mas mabilis yung pag-bounce back ng primary insect pest, resurgence yun. Sa secondary pest outbreak naman, bumaba yung natural enemies, bumaba rin yung population ng primary insect pest, pero biglang may sumingit na secondary pest na mas tumaas yung population, dala nga at namatay yung mga natural enemies nila. Okay? So yun yung difference ng pest resurgence at secondary pest outbreak. Now aside from these two, resurgence at saka secondary pest outbreak, siguro yung pinaka-common na problema na i-encounter, naririnig natin, is pesticide resistance. Okay? So ang ibig sabihin ng pesticide resistance is simply nagiging resistant yung insect pest natin doon sa pesticide na ini-spray natin doon sa field. So some of the insects that are susceptible will die, pero may mga anak sila, may mga siblings yung insect na yan that are resistant, that will become resistant to this pesticide. And kapag paulit-ulit na same pesticide yung ina-apply natin, darating yung time na wala ng epekto yung pesticide na yan doon sa insekto na to. Why? Because they have developed resistance. They have developed resistance kapag sila'y nai-sprayan nung paulit-ulit na pesticide na ini-spray natin sa kanila. So ang nangyayari, lumalakas sila. Diyan na pumapasok yung konsepto natin sa genetics na selection pressure. So anong sinasabi sa selection pressure? Kapag sinabi nating selection pressure, mamamatay yung mga weak, pero yung mga strong, sila yung magpapatuloy. So kapag nag-spray tayo ng paulit-ulit sa ating mga field, namamatay yung mga weak, susceptible insect pests, pero yung mga resistant, yung mga malalakas, let's say, sila yung nabubuhay and sila yung nagre-reproduce ng offspring that is strong and that can resist the pesticide that we are applying in the field. Okay? So ito, yung summary ng differences between resistance, resurgence, at secondary pest outbreak. When we say resistant, okay, the pest becomes less susceptible kasi nakaka-develop sila ng resistance because of selection pressure. When we say resurgence, yan yung pagre-rebound ng primary pest population dahil mas mabilis yung pagtaas ng population nila pabalik kaysa doon sa kanilang natural enemies. And when we say secondary pest outbreak naman, yan ay kapag ang isang peste na hindi ganun ka-importante, biglang naging important because we've killed the beneficial insects in the field. Okay? So I hope these three phenomenons, these three problems are clear and distinct para alam natin yung ibig sabihin ng bawat isa and alam natin kung paano sasagutin yung mga questions sa exam kapag lumabas man yung mga concepts na to.